Alright, let's try this again, but with splits and a timer that starts.
Proper story is supposed to start at the beginning. Ain't so simple with this one. Now here's a kid whose whole world got all twisted, leaving him stranded on a rock in the sky. He gets up, sets off for the Bastion.
There we go.
Where everyone agreed to go in case of trouble. Ground forms up under his feet as it pointing the way. He don't stop to wonder why. Finds his lifelong friend just lying in the road. Well, it's a touching reunion. He sees what's left of the rippling walls. Years of work undone in an instant. In the calamity, that a survivor. No, ma'am. It's a gas fella. Forced out from underground. Kid pops him good. Sometimes you just need a drink. A school of squirts tunnels up around them. Must have fled here from the mines. He sets foot inside one of Celandia's famous watering holes. Inside's old Rondi, the bartender. The calamity got him before his drinking did. Then Kid finds his trusty shield. The security takes him for a petty thief. Special delivery. Gas fellas. Windbags start turning up for last call.
Oh god, so many gas fellas. So many gas fellas.
More squirts start coming out of the woodwork. A big old fella pops out in front of the kid. Kid sees the way to the Bastion out the window. He gets a good look at things on his way down. He lands on top of a breaker's bow, and it ain't broke. And then he falls to his death. I'm just fooling. Good news is the emergency defenses still work.
Wow, I
Bad
remember how
news
this
is
level
the
works.
aiming for the kid picks up a few pointers from a dusty old tome.
Excuse me, kid.
Right back
There we
at
go.
ya. He finds the distillery, right next to the arsenal. Tough part of town. One sip of the spirits in that distillery, and the kid'll feel like a new man. The arsenal's where the kid can pick the best tools for the job. An old ferry barge sends the kid on his way.
Sub 50 tonight or bust. I don't know about that. I wouldn't mind it, but I don't think my sum of best is even sub 50 yet.
He's a mighty fast learner. He finds the core to the Wharf District. He steals the city's heart. Might as well. Well, down he goes. Down toward the Bastion. Now the kid sees something stranger still. His mind races. Did anybody else survive? Sure enough, he finds another. He finds me. There's a bit of the Bastion's power in that crest. Enough to point the way to the cores. All I tell him is to set that core of his on the monument there. Then watch. And just like that, the Bastion comes alive. Starts growing again. Growing stronger. Kid's gotta put its power to good use. Now the Bastion can send him even farther into the wild unknown. Kid ponders what to build. Kid don't know what's out there waiting for him.
Oh, I will get that glitch one day, and
Now
I
he
will never
lands
get
at the
another gold on
intersection
Workman
between
Ward
bad
for
and
months.
wrong. Ought to be a core down one of these twisted streets. But which one? There it is. But it's locked down tight in an alloy cage. Almost like he's showboating the crowd. And now there's a new marshal in town. He hears the whole place groan, but it's too tough to fall. He comes back, just like I knew he would. The core hums in his pack. The monument's calling for it. Kid does it again. Only fair he decides what we build
All
next.
right.
Picked up traces of other cores while the kid was out.
Time to go to the melting pot. The melting pot sucks.
In better days, the melting pot was sealed tighter than the skin on a squirt. Of all the plans to survive the calamity, it had to be stab weeds. If there's a core, he figures it ought to be deeper down. He throws a switch. Now what could possibly go wrong? Quite a bit, as it turns out. The cage starts lifting from the core ever so slow. All Kid can do is wait. Shipments start falling in. Not every score's born bad. Some spring to the kid's defense. Judging by the movement of the cage, it's gonna take a little while. Scumbags don't take kindly to the interlopers. Even some gas fellas take his corner. Heard he popped that mean old foreman. At this rate, maybe 5 more minutes, maybe 30. Hard to tell. Squirts get real territorial around the core. Then a shipment of free samples shows up. It ain't all bad, as the kid finds some spices from the motherland, tax-free. One thing's for sure, that cage is awful heavy. Troublesome scene, to be sure. A few moments left, and the core goes free. 10, 9, 8, 7, give or take a few seconds. Finally, the core's within reach. And done. He's got it. Just gotta get to the nearest barge.
That wasn't a terrible melting pot.
I still remember the look on his face after that one. The old world's finished, but the new world's just getting started. Makes time to sample spirits from my personal supply. Where whiskey has no scent, but tastes like a peppered boot heel, it's not for everyone. Couples used to walk the sundown path.
Alright,
Kid
sundown's
ain't
pretty
here
quick.
for pleasure, though. But then, something
Basically
gets
just
to
go
the
full
core
speed the
before
whole time,
kid.
which is nice.
The core starts giving way on the lightest step. A single panic squirt could bring the whole place down. Security's all fired up. See, the path was intended for leisurely strolling. tunnel's the only way to go.
Thanks, game.
The Calamity changed everything, even where the wind blows. Well, if we mastered the winds in the old days, we can do it again. Who else could have taken the core? Well, ain't no survivor stole the thing. Scumbag ate it by mistake. No, they used to ship live munitions down the path. Even gas fellas need some shut-eye from time to time. They get real cranky when you wake them up.
Alright.
All this toil, kid keeps coming back.
Sundown's fun.
Overwhelming question. Who else could have survived the Calamity? So we didn't find a core that time, but that ain't about to stop us. The dead welcome him with open arms. The Calamity took everybody after all. Kids see the plane, frozen faces all around.
It's not sundown. I can't go stupid
These
fast.
folks never saw the Calamity coming, but someone did. Someone close. It was someone like him. It's a snag or two trying to get to him.
Oops.
He ain't about to stop, no matter what. He's got so many questions after all. The Thunder Brothers didn't make it. Nordy the Bird Boy didn't make it. But him, he survived. Just think, without that man, we wouldn't be here right now. Would we? What do you say to a man who's seen too much? Kid hasn't a clue. But he says this. We have
All
to
those
go.
falls, and I only lost 5 seconds
Please.
on that split. I must have fallen a lot during my PB2.
He's a proper gentleman, that man.
That's okay.
His name is Zolf. No hiding he's an Ura. Folks like him ain't never been a common sight in Celandia. He's relieved to see a living face or two. The kid and I introduce ourselves in kind. Both to him and to each other for the first time. The cores, they remember. That's why this place is coming together. That's why things are gonna be alright. Well, look what we have here. We tracked down a couple more cores near the edge of the city.
Had to think for a second there. Wait, which one do I go to? Go to Cinderbrick.
There's only one
Go get a
way
musket.
into Cinderbrick Fort. The hard way. Sure, the city marshals may be gone, but now the fort's crawling with windbags. The Calamity was mercy. Folks. Well, windbags, young and old, keep fighting for it. At least the marshals left the kid a parting gift. Something the windbags just can't handle. Something that'll punch clean through the greasy hides. Windbags ain't much different from normal folks. All they want's a warm place to stay and a decent meal. Cinderbrick gave them enough heat and metal to munch on for a while. But the fort ain't theirs by right. Kid's stash of grenades is there for him if things get even worse. Security's plane gone haywire. The windbags gummed up the works. They trapped the kid in the middle of the fort's parade grounds.
Come on.
The sky
Come on,
was a
kid.
welcome sight after all that. Then they bring out Glutus and Glandon and all their scumbag uncles.
There we go.
And now ain't nothing left for nobody down at Cinderbrick Fort.
There we go.
Kid shows up just as Zolf's telling me about his own journey to the city. Zolf's travels ain't much compared to what the kids had to go through for all this.
Now we can go to Pith Orchard. Now we've got the musket.
No use praying to the gods these days. No time for it either. Folks used to make pilgrimage here to pay their respects to Pith, the bull. Well, the gods are long gone now.
Oops.
And the orchard core is long gone too. In time, though, the bull stopped being a symbol and started being decoration. Pith makes a decent scarecrow. Then Pith lights up like a rodeo. So what'll it be? Invoke the gods? Or tell them off? Must have been guarding that shrine. Popping windbags is hard enough. No need to get the gods involved. Well, if the gods are alive, they must be plenty sore. Seems Pith ain't much of a watchdog. Kid ain't found the core. At least he found Zolf's precious shrine.
Yeah, I expected to lose time there. I was
Now we
really
can build a
stupid
shrine
happy
of
with
our
my
own.
Pith
Well, I
Orchard
got some
on my PB.
alternatives in mind.
Now here's where the time save comes in, because I died right at the end of this auto-scroller last round.
The Langston River flowed free and wild till the calamity drank it all up. Maybe all that water just grew wings and flew off. Riverbanks swarming with windbags. They're so bent on finding the core they hardly notice the kid. Lucky for him, a certain famous ferry barge is still afloat. There's sent some squirts crying home as she leaves port. Maybe Nellie knows the way to the core. Maybe she can slip right past all the clamor on the coast. The kid almost falls again, or maybe not. The security skiff pulls up portside. Nellie's just another windbag to those guns. Just then, the windbags notice who she's sailing with. They're pretty steamed about what happened at Cinderbrick. They try to cut her off. They try to slow her down. They try to knock her out. But Weepin' Nellie tries harder. Try as she might, though, she hits a snag. Kid's gotta help her get untangled. Favors for favors. At least she picked a good spot for a break, because the core's right there. Then the kid hears an unusual sound, like 100 flapping wings. They had their own eyes on the core. Why? Finds Weepin' Nellie rarely go. Turns out she's got a special surprise for when the waters get rough. Crafty things think they've taken your use now. The rest of us only wish we could fly in times like these. Security skiffs keep on coming starboard side. Don't seem to care what they shoot, as long as they hit something. The windbags getting even better out here. They aim to smash Weepin' Nellie to splinters. Well, it all proves too much for poor Nellie. She's just gotta make one last stop.
Alright.
breath. Nearly gets the kid to solid ground. They want that core real bad. Might be they want it just as bad as a kid. Kid shoos them off, knowing they'll be back. 3 times.
And
Wow,
time
listen
save.
close.
Look at that.
You should remember this next. Why go to Prosper Bluff? Used to take an enterprising man or a plain old fool to venture out that far. And that's why you go to Prosper Bluff, ain't it? There the kid hears something he ain't heard in a long while. How's it go again? Yeah, that's the one.
Nans, that PB was amazing. Bird, get away. Setting up a clip. I think a glass of wine is an excellent way to celebrate a PB like that.
We darn near celebrated when the kid got back, didn't we? Zolf never thought he'd see a fellow or again. We become fast friends. Calamity has that effect on people. But there was more to be done. There was one last core to find. Kid's surprised when I tell him there's only one core left. I shouldn't have believed it either.
Man, this takes a lot longer when you have to do one at a
Track
time.
the final core beyond the city to the wilds. The wild unknown. Place can eat a man alive. Place is so raw, even the Calamity couldn't cook it. Not all of it. Kid learns the hard way not to touch those things. Pecker's got the core, like they built a bastion of their own. The welcoming committee scrambles to attention. Didn't expect the kid so soon. The wilds drag him down.
Sure.
They shouldn't have let the guard down. Getting that core was one thing. Getting out's gonna be another. Then Kid gets the feeling he's being watched. He digs his way out of the clearing, but the wilds won't let him go without a fight. And lunkheads ain't fond of two-legged animals. After all, he's got the final core. His journey's over, right? Well, no. It ain't. Not by a long shot.
Alright, I'm getting that
Kid knows
clip
something's
much
up
more
when we ain't there to
consistently,
give a
which is
warm welcome.
awesome.
See, Zolf and I were just wrapping up a heated discussion. Zolf can barely muster the words. The Calamity failed, he says. But I will not. And with that, Zolf leaves us here, alone. Seems the
Oh.
only thing the Calamity saved for Zolf.
Well, no pipe
was a
glitch.
smoking pipe. Zolf banged up the monument pretty bad. But there's a way to put it back together. The shards. The city brought the shards to the wilds. Now the kid's gonna bring them back.
Nine minutes in
After
Johnson?
Zolf's
That
little
had to be...
episode,
Oh, no, not
Kid
9,
sets
6
off
minutes.
in search of
That's
shards.
reasonable-ish.
First stop, Jawson Bog. You'll get lost in that bog, I told the kid, and I won't be able to guide you back. Well, I let him go. What else could I do? What could any of us do? Zolf put us in a real bind. Hurt the Bastion bad. But the shards can make it better. They're like smaller doses of the core's medicine. Shame the only place to fill that prescription is out here in the wilds.
Time for a drug trip.
Is intoxicating. Don't know where he's gone. Might be gone for good for all I know. Wherever he is. Somewhere I've never been. Somewhere I never want to go.
There we go.
If dead, welcome him with open arms. Kid pops him good. Let a survivor. No man. It's a lonesome ghost of a gas fella. I'm Zolf, a Libra. Please
Reset my were whiskey here.
Did anybody else survive? Beggars, lunkheads, wallflowers.
Come on, Burb. There we go.
Pineapples, swamp weeds, ankle gators.
No, Burb's not gonna get the whole thing.
Into the wild. Kid sets foot inside one of Ceylondia's famous modern homes. The security's just a straight home. He's a petty thief. Kid succeeds where the calamity failed. Would you look at what he did to poor old Ronnie the bartender?
Yeah, I haven't managed to get that particular
So simple with this one.
room right yet, Vula.
Right. Snoozing there on a rock in the sky. He sees what's left of the rippling walls. Years of work undone in an instant. He wakes up. I'm just fooling. He sees what's left of his lifelong friend. His friend. He's coming down. He sees what's left. Undone.
I even ran myself out of grenades, so I couldn't even get Fake Kid dead once he were whiskeyed me. That's okay. Really, this'll PB as long as I manage to not die and have to redo a level.
Thought we'd lost him, but he finally comes to.
I'll have a...
The shard ain't lost either. Not anymore. Now to find a ticket
Oh.
out of this hole. Ever heard of the lung blossom? Bootlickers dig their nasty thorns into his heels. They say one whiff of lung blossom can make you lose your mind. Mother only knows what happened in the bog. Kid never much cared to speak of it.
Hey, game time on Jocelyn. That's nice.
A shard is like a poor man's core, but beggars can't be choosers. That's it. A few more shards like that, and we'll be back in business. A single shard can breathe new life into this place. The shard's got enough juice to spruce up any of these places. The city tried to use the shards to stake out the wilds. So much for that plan.
Alright. Off we go to Rothus.
Ankle gators used to roam the wilds, and they nested at Rothus Lagoon. Many a tale folks used to scare their children straight originated here. They used to think that ankle gators were extinct. Well,
Oops.
They ain't. Turns out Queen Anne got a hold of a shard. Ankle gators love shiny things. The brushers use their pikes to keep their distance around here. Now the kid can do the same. Can't get hasty in a place like this. They say you can't hurt an ankle gator unless it's raining. And it ain't raining. Sharp sticks make Queen Anne nervous, so she backs off a bit. Queenie leads the kid into some kind of twisted trap. Bad idea to walk in gator grass. One bad step in that tall grass, and he's Queen Anne's lunch. The closer you get to an ankle gator's lair, the thicker the tall grass grows. Those leaping lunkheads don't like Queen Anne any better than the kid. Want to know how to find an ankle gator lair? You use a kid as bait. The shard's sitting in plain view. Now she's coming for him. She's got nowhere else to go. She's starting to get annoyed. That's ankle gator country for him. He's got it, and now to finish her off. Rest in peace, Queen Anne. That was for the brushers. Kids done what needed to be done.
Still didn't get the quick kill there, but yeah, I didn't need to kill her, but I hadn't done enough before that last round.
Got a crown jewel. All that trouble for a single shard. But you know what?
No, it's not annoyed. It's mad is the line. Now she's mad or something.
Just the occasion to crack open the distillery's private reserve.
I've had several runs in the past few days where I've had to look at exactly where the voice lines fall in.
2 words. Point Lemaine. If the wilds could ever be tamed, it was gonna happen right here.
Come on. There we go.
Whole place shudders in a fit.
Ah.
The grand rail of Point Lemaine. Not only is it still there.
Either way, it's
it
behind
still
us.
Works. Of course, it's no longer shipping hides and alloys and spices. The Army's triggers once had the place on lockdown, but it can give the kid a lift. Just as long as he can stay clear of the trouble on the tracks. Grand rails all thrown over with things of calamity chewed up and spat out. Things eager to take back their turf. Kid don't let so much as one of those things slip by.
The solution is indeed don't suck.
Wiggle room up there near the rail. Of course, the grand rails seen much more fighting in bygone times. It was right here that Zolf's Ura forefathers decided to mix it up. Near on 50 years ago, first shots fired in the Ura Selandian War. Okay, so maybe we didn't get their sign-off on the whole grand rail thing. The rail must have shook the Ura to the bone down in those dens of theirs. Well, the rail won't last much longer now that the kid took the shard. That was bad. It's still got one good run in store for him, though. All the rotten wood there on the rail has turned it into swamp weed central. Ever tried dancing side to side while holding your breath while choking on swamp weed? Peckers trying to prick you in the eye. Well, let me tell you, it ain't fun. At last, it's the end of the line. He'll be picking swamp weed out of those boots for days. Turns out he's got company up at the rail station, waiting for him. Not just another wallflower or pincushion, mind you. At first, he thinks itself. This is for you, says the man.
I think that was a pretty solid point, Lemaine.
When the kid comes to, the man's long gone. But something else is there. Well, what's a kid to do? He took the shard.
Yeah,
I'll
I'll take that.
And he took that note. That note cuts straight to the heart of things, don't it? It ain't too late to unlock the potential of this place. The memorial may be finished, but our part is far from over.
Alright, Colford Cauldron. That place that I fall a lot.
Not everything blew up in the calamity. Why, Colford Cauldron here blew up way ahead of its time. The cauldron boiled over some 300 years ago. They say it filled the skies with ash and the lakes with molten rock. If you wanted to survive something like that, you had to learn to adapt. It takes a certain stubborn pride to keep on living in a place like this. As for us, we learned an awful lot from Colford Cauldron. Sure, we dusted off a good many secrets out here, but we discovered other things we're better off not knowing. The taste of air so hot it sticks to your lungs. Best to keep out of the cauldron. All sorts of awful things crawling underfoot. Place as inhospitable as they come. After all, when we looked down inside Colford Cauldron, we saw in there the heart of the world. The heart now laid bare by the calamity. As for the kid, he just has to get that shard out of there. Too bad taking that thing woke up every last stink eye from here to Charleston Bog. But where there's one stink eye, there's always more. Biggest stink eyes ever seen's waiting for him on the other side. The cauldron's tenants all gather up to bid the kid a fond farewell. With a good spyglass, you can still see the cauldron.
You know,
city,
I'll take that.
all the fire's
I will
died out.
definitely take that.
It comes back looking like the inside of a chimney. The shard works like a charm. You can hear the monument's heartbeat again.
I'll figure out that clip through that first gate eventually, too.
Ain't saying much, but that's the greatest forge
on, kid,
in all
roll.
the city.
We gotta beat Rux. If he finishes talking before we hit the Skyway, he'll make us wait.
Can't rightly call Mount Zand a mountain anymore.
Alright.
There's no more mountains now. There's no place left for the beasts of the wild to go. But they ain't yet
Whoops.
prepared for any company. The creatures of the wild, they've been building a bastion of their own. Best thing we can do for those beasts right now is put them down, quick and clean. Look at it this way. It's either them or us. But if we win, they win too. Our bastion is everybody's
Come on.
game. Not just ours. Those beasts been hard at work fixing up the place. We just really need their shard. Kid got it fair and square. He's done what's best for him, don't you worry. Don't you worry.
I love that fight. That's my favorite fight in the whole game.
We'll all be better off once the bastion is complete. The monument's getting better. Zolf sure did a number on it, though. We need an awful big lost and found under the circumstances.
Alright, now to Burstone. I am not gonna gain time on this one. I had
Imagine everything you'd need
I got,
to build a city like
like a
Celandia.
2-minute gold
It takes hard work and
on it
planning,
last time.
and it also takes Burstone Quarry. Same goes for its natives, rattletails. Not only are these rocks a source of life, we found that the oldest ones remember things. They're recording everything, all the time. Take it all in. Rattletails kept tunneling in to snack on windbags. Now, why would the Ura sell off such a fascinating place? Might be the gods told them the quarry's bad news. Those rocks, all polished to a pure sheen. The largest ones, you know as cores.
Whoops again.
Remember how I said rattletails ain't the worst thing in the quarry? That honor goes to a beast we took to Colin, Sir Lunky. Massive things stomped many of our boys. We just couldn't get rid of
Alright, get over here, Lunky.
The only thing harder than the rocks first in the quarry is Sir Lunky's head. We never could get stubborn old Lunky to leave the quarry alone. Then the kid hears a voice calling from down the hall. Are you alright? It says.
Yeah, I didn't get the dunk, but
we talk for a spell.
the backup on the backup with Were Whiskey is a lot nicer than the backup without it.
If that's the way it is, he says, then I won't stop you. Because my countrymen will.
Huh, only lost about 17 seconds to that. I'm okay with that. I am very okay with that.
Say what you will about Zulf, but he's a man of his word. His countrymen don't much care for pleasantries, though. The Ura think they got him. They're wrong. No way out of this.
Nah, Rex, they're right.
Zulf showed them the way here, and here they came. Zulf was such a cordial man when we first met.
Rux is always so optimistic about my ability to beat the Ura, and I've always got to disappoint him.
The shards can put this disease in remission, but there's only one cure. We need to finish what we started.
Oh.
The arsenal's complete, in case we need protection. Now all we need is one last shard.
Okay. We're into endgame.
It's all we need to put this mess behind us. And mother, what a mess it is. A mess like that could have only been made by hand.
I swear I've done that like the last 3 or 4 times I've run this.
At the heart of the calamity was a simple idea. We sought solutions far beyond the city. We never wanted to go to war again. Wanted to rule it out. Most of our efforts didn't bear fruit. Then there was a breakthrough. But it didn't come from one of our people. It came from an Ura, a brilliant young scientist named Ven. Ven worked for the Mancers, the sharpest knives in the city's drawer. With his help, the Mancers devised a way to seal the Ura tunnels shut. In a flash, just like that, every last Ura living in the Tassel terminals.
Come on. There we go. Thank you.
This discovery was never to be used, they said, except as a last resort. But Ven didn't like being manipulated. He had plans of his own. He sabotaged the Mancers' little science project, set it to blow up in their faces. But remember, the Bastion can fix everything. We just need that shard. Too bad the Ura ain't exactly been willing to collaborate on that front. For now, Kid had little choice but to pick up where the calamity left off. First things first, though.
Hey, 7-second gold.
See ya.
What a kind Ura indeed, Nans.
The Ura fell
Beating me
back,
up for where
no
whiskey.
doubt planning the next move. But we knew ours already. There's something we had to do before going after that last shard.
I tried to, Vula. The, was it?
Well,
I thought I'd tried
personal,
clicking on it and
ain't
it didn't work. Which is why I went back.
It's personal for him, and it's personal for me. The Calamity did something wrong with some of them rocks. They've got these conductors that are all what's keeping the place together. Well, the Ura must be in a panic right about now. They even sick their little rattletail pets on the kid. By now, every Ura from here to the terminals must know he's in town. The Ura keep hanging on to their barricade. After all, their homeland's not much farther. Yes, our people caused the Calamity, but here we are trying to fix it. As the hour grows desperate, the Ura bring out their big guns.
Yeah, I was pretty sure, like, I looked at it and it still was blank and wasn't sparkling, and I tried to use it, but either way.
You had to see if everything Zulf wrote to you was true. Once the kid gets that last shard from Zulf, it'll all be over.
Okay.
I can't hear him at all anymore. He's too far away.
What was that confirmation?
But he'll be alright.
That was my mouse moving too
The
fast.
Calamity hit the Tazzle terminals hardest of all.
The Steam one?
Zulf must be there all alone, just waiting. All his old friends and family. You know what's funny? Well, look around. There's not much left to do here in the Bastion, I'm afraid.
Oh, I fell off.
So why not tell each other stories to pass the time? When the kid brings back that shard, the Bastion will be complete. The problem is, we'll all be gone.
I mean, I can double check it for you after I finish the run. Pop into the menu, look for the about or whatever.
But we're not gonna die. It's more like all of this will just stop. Things will go back to the way they used to be. This whole place is a living record of the times before the Calamity. You'll be your old self again. Think of all those times that didn't go your way. You follow me?
I mean, I could be high too. I live in Oregon.
Come on, get your chin up.
Bastard Ura.
Everything you've ever done, you could do it over. And wouldn't that be grand?
I mean, I'm...
Well, I guess there's nothing more to say.
Oh, are you kidding me?
When we're finished, everything will change. All of this will just stop. Things will go back to the way they used to be. This whole place is a living record of the times before the Calamity. You'll be your old self again. Think of all those times that didn't go your way.
No, I don't want friends.
You follow me? Everything you've ever done, you could do it over. And wouldn't that be grand?
Where did he go?
Well,
I don't know where he went, but he's
I
dead.
guess there's nothing more to say.
That Ura just killed himself.
Come on, get your chin up.
There we go.
Who am I kidding? Look. There's something else. A confession. How come I know so much about the Bastion? Well, I designed the place, but that's beside the point. There's one problem with a place that sets things back to a bygone time. You can't test it. So you're probably wondering if the calamity happened already. What's to stop it from happening again after the Bastion does its thing?
There we go.
The answer is...
Still ahead.
I don't know. You're wondering if there ain't some other way out of this mess. It's all right. I can tell. But why would you even want another way? Unless you wanted to stay here with us.
Come on, kid. Jump over. There we go.
That's sweet and all, but I don't know if I can stick around.
All right.
The weight of the calamity.
We now have
It's on
gone
our
from the
shoulders.
best movement
Can't
to the
just
most
let it
awkward.
Bastion does have another function. Strictly speaking, if ever the monument blew out and we couldn't repair it, we could still evacuate. First, we'd round up as many folks as we could carry. Next, we'd detonate the cores, and we'd take off away from here. That way, all of us could leave the city together. You know Zolf and his countrymen won't be giving up that shard without a fight, don't you? Zolf and the Ura, all they want now is to see the Bastion fall. Zolf dedicated his life to a lasting peace between the Ura and Zealandia. He can't have imagined the city would try to wipe the Ura out. Zolf ain't lost every shred of decency though, has he? He tried to warn you about his plans. He tried to warn the kid. For Zolf, this ain't a personal matter. It ain't a simple matter of pride either. One thing's for sure, the Ura can't be happy that the kid followed Zolf all the way home.
Pith, stop. I don't want any.
Kid saved Zolf once, but I don't think he'd make the same mistake.
Alright, we're in God mode now. Pith no longer matters. We
Don't
got
you
to the
worry,
God
though.
mode switch. Come on,
Once the
come on, Pith.
Bastion's
Come on.
restored,
Save the animals.
It'll all be alright. You ain't still thinking about that whole leaving the city thing, are you?
I'm telling you, Vula, I'm trying to get Save the Animals going. Really, I just need to make sure that that my last special to kill off the boss is close enough to take out both of those bulls.
He reminds me of myself when I was his age.
Okay.
About those days. Hey, kid.
Ori, get up.
Get up, kid.
Vula, I need another game to run that ends with
Come on, that ain't funny.
a secondary character telling the main
get up.
telling the main character to get up.
That's more like it. Now, set that shard into the monument there. Then we'll talk. The Bastion
Dust and Elysian Tail.
is finally finished. Now, there's something I want you to see.
Alright, now we're running Zia Says, right? So we have to talk to Zia.
Welcome to the heart of the Bastion. I ain't one for long goodbyes, so here's the deal. Zia and I figure you done the heavy lifting, so you get to do the honors. We can tell you how to work this thing if you got any questions.
You made it.
Hey, kid.
There you go, sub 57.
Oh, mother. And here I figured you'd had enough.
And just for you, Vula, lost 2 seconds in the heart of the Bastion, probably.
Could have undone the calamity itself. But instead, you want to stay in a world like this.
Just for you, Vula, I'm gonna leave this running.
I gotta admit, kid, I ain't yet put much thought in that idea. But carrying on.
Go refill my water bottle, etc. Back in a bit.
We can't go back no more. But I suppose we could go wherever we please. And if anyone's left out there, I sure would like to see the look on their faces when we dock this thing right on that doorstep. Getting ahead of myself, though. I'm gonna need a first mate. What do you say?
I set myself fly, the wind it will take me back to my home, sweet home. Lie on my back, cloud to make it wait for me. I'm coming home, sweet